Hey guys, how's it going? Today I just wanted to post a quick video talking about sleep and what you can do to improve your sleep quality. So I mentioned in my last video how important sleep is for overall brain health and also if you're recovering from a TBI or concussion to optimize your brain healing. So these sleep tips can not only help those people, but help anyone who's looking to feel more energized and more productive the next day and getting a good night's sleep every night. So I wanted to start in talking about what you can do right off the bat to help your sleep quality. And that starts with tracking your sleep every night using some kind of device, technological quantification method, either that being from your Apple Watch, your Fitbit. I personally use the Oura Ring. It's really easy. I don't even notice that it's there, but most of you probably have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit that can give you good feedback on your sleep quality, what cycles you're in, and how much sleep you're getting per night. This is really important because it's pretty much the only way that you can truly track your sleep and then fine tune what's working for you in your sleep routine and what's not. I highly recommend it because this is really the only way for you to actually know how much you're sleeping. So I would buy a Fitbit if you don't want to spend a lot of money on the sleep tracking device. Next, we want to talk about how much time you need to spend in bed, and I recommend 8 to 10 hours because for my own tracking, I found that I pretty much am awake for usually 40 to 60 minutes a night from whatever various wake up reasons, from noises or going to the bathroom, or just it's normal to wake up a few times in the night. And if you really want to get an actual 8 hours of sleep, then you're going to have to be in your bed for 9 hours. That's just how it works. So I know this is going to be a stretch for some people, but really dedicating a lot of time to sleeping is super important if you want to get good sleep quality. Next, we want to talk about deep sleep. So I mentioned this before in my first video, how deep sleep is the regeneration and healing phase of the sleep cycles, especially when it comes to your brain. And this is really what we want to optimize when we're talking about brain healing and brain performance. Deep sleep falls into the non-REM sleep cycle category, which pretty much there's REM sleep, which is where your dreams and your memory consolidation occurs, and then everything else is bucketed into non-REM sleep, and deep sleep falls under that category. If you're tracking your sleep already, you should be trying to get anywhere from 20% and greater in terms of deep sleep per night of your overall sleep amount. So how do we optimize deep sleep? So let's talk about one thing you can do, and that's taking CBD before you go to bed, roughly an hour before you go to bed. Studies have shown that not only is CBD a neural anti-inflammatory, but it can also help you get better deep sleep and improve the amount of time that your body is spending in deep sleep each night. And the key here is to get a high quality CBD, and I can post a separate video on that talking about my favorite brands, what potencies that are necessary, and what potencies all these studies are using, because it's a really high amount. And the local CBD that you find in your grocery store probably isn't going to cut it. But that's definitely something you should look into if you're trying to improve your overall deep sleep scores and improve any concussion or TBI recovery, because that's going to knock out your headaches and improve your sleep at the same time. Next, I want to talk about what we can avoid to improve our sleep quality. And these aren't really that hard, in my opinion, and should be kind of a no-brainer if you really want to improve your sleep. So let's talk about first, eating a late dinner. You've probably heard this before, that eating a late dinner might make you fat, but we want to focus on how that's going to be a negative impact on your sleep. So if you ate a really big, heavy meal about an hour or less right before you go to bed, I know that's pretty rare to be an hour or less, but sometimes people eat a really big meal and then they go to bed because they're time crunched. But what this does is it takes all of your body's energy needs for that digestion of the meal, when your body could be using all that energy when you're sleeping initially to heal your brain, heal your muscles, and stuff like that. So it's pretty much just gonna distract your body from what it needs to be doing, healing and recovering, and instead be digesting your food. So I highly recommend eating your dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan on going to bed to optimize your sleep quality. Next on the list is blue light. You've probably heard a lot about this recently. Don't stare at your screen before you go to bed. It's really bad for you. Why is it bad for you? Well, blue light has been the natural way for our body to tell when it's daytime. So blue light naturally comes from the sun. And when the sun is up in the morning, that's how our body can tell that it's the morning. And this regulates what's called our circadian rhythm, or our body clock in layman's terms. So it's really important because our body for thousands of years, once the sun went down, had no source of blue light. So now when we're staring at our phone screens at 10 p.m., 30 minutes before we go to bed, our body thinks it could be noon or it could be 2 p.m. and that we should have more energy because there's blue light, so it must be the middle of the day. Well, this is causing a lot of problems in sleep quality and also the ability to fall asleep. So this sounds like a lot, but there are a lot of things you can do that aren't that difficult besides just turning off your phone at night. So these glasses that I'm wearing right now are actually blue light blocking glasses, and I specifically got them after my concussion because I did a lot of work on my computer in college, and obviously I go on my phone a good amount, and these block a good amount of the blue light waves that come from screens, and also can mitigate some of the blue light fatigue on your eyes. So I highly recommend that. And what else you can do is in your phone settings, you can dim the screens to night mode they have. And then if you really want to be a biohacker, you can pretty much filter your screen to be completely orange or red when you go to bed. I do this pretty much every night. I put my filter on like orange-ish before I go to bed in order to prevent myself from looking at a lot of blue light. So that's definitely something that's super important, as blue light can disrupt your natural melatonin cycles. So we really want to try and avoid blue light. Sorry that was a long-winded explanation, but I've gotten a lot of flack for these glasses, but they've actually done me a huge favor in terms of headaches and being able to improve my sleep quality. So they're also pretty inexpensive blue light glasses. The next thing we want to talk about is late exercise. So a lot of you're going to be time crunched, it's hard. I'm telling you to eat early. I'm telling you to avoid late exercise, but you really shouldn't be exercising like an hour before you go to bed, because your core body temperature is going to be elevated and your heart rate is also going to be elevated. And it takes a little while for that to come down. So it's going to be hard for your body to fall asleep if your heart rate and your body temperature are elevated. And also, even if those are elevated and you do fall asleep, your overall sleep quality isn't going to be as good either. So I highly recommend, if you do need to exercise late just because you don't have enough time in the day, take a cold shower and then maybe just do some breathing exercise to try and bring your heart rate down so you don't affect your sleep quality. Thanks everyone. Let me know if this helps and what you're doing to help improve your sleep. This is just a couple things, and I really hope that you try this and it helps you. Thanks.